Hello, everyone. Welcome to the WhaddayaFink podcast, where two grown men talk about video games.
This is off to a good start.
It's we're being honest. We're winging it. I am BurgerBuns. I am from BurgerBuns Gaming, and this is the Grand Poofarian. Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. And today, we're going to talk about Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
The thing is, which version are we playing? Did we play?
That's a good point. There are multiple versions. There is the Sega Genesis version that I know of and the Super Nintendo version. If there's any more than that, please raise your hand and speak now. Anyone?
Nope.
Anyone?
Nope. Apparently that's
right.
just two versions then.
Just two versions. Put it down. You heard it here first. 30 years later.
Yeah.
I played the Super Nintendo version because that's the one I grew up with.
Oh, I thought we were doing the Genesis one. I'm kidding.
Yes. Oh, okay. Sure.
No, we played the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah, cool.
And for my fellow Europeans, we didn't have Zombies Ate My Neighbors here, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was called Zombies, apparently.
Oh, just zombies.
Zombies.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I guess that's one thing we should clear up. Me, BurgerBuns, I am from the United States. So that's a thing.
That's the thing. I was about to say something smart, but then I was like, no, it's true.
Well, I mean,
it's
you still could. Right? You're a smart guy.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Allegedly.
Compared to the right source, yes, I am. But Zombies Ate My Neighbors. A game that you are very much familiar with, and
yes.
I, not so much.
Yeah.
Well, what I can tell is I knew it existed, and I probably played it at least once. So far my experience.
Yeah. Drawing from memory. So,
well, yeah.
Actually, do you remember if you enjoyed it? I mean, I guess not enough to play it again, or maybe you just didn't get the chance?
To answer your question in a too long didn't read section, yes, I did enjoy it, but I also remember that the game wasn't exactly what I expected. And that's probably the reason why I didn't pick it up soon after that. I was expecting some sort of platforming adventure type kind of game. And not an arcade kind of game.
Yeah.
Because this...
Yeah, that's actually a good point. It does feel very arcadey.
It is. There's fast-paced action, short levels. And I was expecting something like Toe Jam and Earl. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was around the same time.
Yeah. So
this came out in what, 93, 94?
I think it came out in 93 in both North America and Europe.
Yeah. And it was by LucasArts.
And that's a surprise.
Yeah?
For me. Because,
I mean, I guess now that I think about it, that's probably why I love the look of it.
Probably. I haven't even thought about that. But I know LucasArts for the point-and-click adventure games that they made.
Yeah,
and obviously the TIE Fighter and X-Wing kind of games. The whole Star Wars crap hole that was thrown at the wall at the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, TIE Fighter was a good one, but I'd never expected they also made Zombies Ate My Neighbors, or a game like Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
I want to look up another... I swear they've made more titles that I was just like, holy crap, LucasArts, that's pretty cool. I can't think of them off the top of my head right now.
Well, luckily, there's something called the internet.
How do I get a hold of this internet?
Well, yeah, you need to download a CD-ROM
Okay.
by mail.
Oh.
And then you
no.
have to connect it to your modem so you can upload your logo.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to stop you right there because I don't know if you know the current state of the U.S. mail system right now. It's a joke.
Oh,
so.
well, dang.
But you know, I could probably tell you off the top of my head, LucasArts, not straying too far from Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but Monkey Island, Grim Fandango, yeah, a lot of point-and-click adventures. Sam and Max,
yes.
Day of the Tentacle, obviously a bunch of Star Wars games, Indiana Jones here and there, but yeah, they made Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which I wonder how that came to be. I wonder who pitched that to them. Like, hey, look, I got an idea. It's kind of an arcadey, maybe rogue-ish, roguelite adventure game where you play as a boy and a girl. You shoot some monsters and you save your neighbors. And he's like, ooh, I don't know. Kids shooting guns. It's like, no, it's okay. They're water guns filled with holy water.
And cans of beer.
Yeah. See, you're not drinking the beer, you're just chucking them.
You're chucking them. And decoy clowns.
Oh man, those decoy clowns have saved me more often than not. And I made a short video to where I kind of panic fired those decoy clowns once or twice. Not my proudest moment, but I'm honest with myself. It's okay.
I noticed when I was watching your video. No, remind me of what I want to say right now because it doesn't fit in this place of the story yet. First of all, we need to describe the game for people that haven't played it. So
it's true. Yeah.
I mean,
I think you actually gave a very good description. It's so you can do simultaneous co-op and it's very arcadey feeling. Yeah, you're burning through stages. You can do them really quick or you can take your time. But I think your description was spot on.
It's an arcadey game. That's that was my description.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, there's a goal in each level, isn't there?
Just usually it's to save your neighbors.
Exactly. So,
you can let them all die, by the way.
But no, wait. If you let them all die, it's a game over.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's the best way to go about it, but it's a choice.
It's a way to finish the game very easily.
Yeah, as long as you save one neighbor, you should be able to advance.
Yeah, just one.
Oh man, did you happen to get a game over screen?
Well, it's not the right time in the story right now to talk about that. First of all, we need to save.
He never talked about the game over.
I kept everything to myself. For the audience, the good friendly BurgerBuns here. We have every time rephrase, think, breathe. We play the game beforehand, and once we have played the game, we get in touch with each other and we want to talk about the game every freaking time.
Every time.
But every time we're like, no, we gotta save this for the podcast because why would you spend all your spunk before you record it, right?
Yeah.
So what does BurgerBuns do? When he play tests the game for research, he records it and he uploads it to his channel. And if you're recording a game when you're a content creator, you want to talk about the game because you get some nostalgia bits and memories that are arising, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is how. And then every time he stops himself. He's like, nope, gotta save this for the podcast.
It was very difficult. It was extremely difficult, and it was easier to do with the games that you suggested because I wasn't familiar with them, so I was just like, oh, okay, all right, cool. And I can kind of mull them over, but playing this game, I'm so very familiar with it that it just tons of memories started popping up left and right, and it's such a great time to play, just to have everything go back over everything. And the game itself, besides the nostalgia factor, the game itself still holds up somewhat. Geez, almost
It
almost
does.
30 years later.
Yeah, it does.
You know, we're 27 years. Yeah, 27 years old. The game itself, and so it's a very well made game.
There's a very high replayability.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know if we're skipping ahead, but the one of the things about this game is that you have to. Oh, a neighbor just died. You have to. You don't have to, but it's very encouraged to start from the beginning. It does have a password system, like, hey, skip to the last level with this password, or every 5 levels or so you get a password. But it doesn't save all the items you've collected and all the ammo, and you need that. Like, oh boy.
Speaking of which,
it's an adventure.
I played the game. The game that is probably playing in the background for you guys right now. I managed to get to the pyramid level. No,
okay.
I managed to get to the supermarket level.
Oh,
without
yes.
realizing that you can change your weapons.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, that's how skilled I am, my friendo.
you did a lot better than I did then, because wow, that's good.
Or maybe it was with the chainsaw dudes, but I mean, yeah. Oh no, I definitely remember it was with the chainsaw dudes. That level is evil.
That level is really rough. Yeah. Oh boy, that's a rough level. Yeah.
And I kind of pushed the wrong button, and I was like, "Hey, I'm not shooting my water gun anymore. What did I do?" Oh, that's what I picked up. Because when I picked up the cans of beer and what other stuff was there? There was plenty of stuff. I was like, "Oh, that's health or score." But no, that's actually weaponry.
Yeah. So with the Super Nintendo controller, you know, you had A, B, X, and Y.
Yes. And your L and R buttons, the shoulder buttons.
That's correct. That's right. I don't remember if the shoulder buttons did anything.
In this game?
Oh, yeah, wait. No, they did. They did, because that's how, for the longest time, I didn't know you have a map in that game. If you hit one of the shoulder buttons, you can get a map. It's like a little sonar, and it tells you how many neighbors you have left. And
approximately where they are.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll give you a little ping on the sonar, and you collect various health items, other tools that kind of help you, like the stinking clowns, the decoy clowns. There's a few that they're potions and they turn you into a monster.
Yes,
and it's fantastic. But yeah, you get all sorts. You get bazookas from military personnel that are freaking out. You get, oh man, weed eaters.
Yeah, the weed. Well, yeah, eater.
Weed trimmers.
Weed whack slash alien fungi eating device thing.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, they. I guess that might bring us to enemies. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to mention what I noticed when I was playing. When I realized I could switch weaponry, I made the wise decision to keep my default selection, the water gun, and the clowns. And that's the exact same thing that you did when I watched you playing. Every time you weren't on your default setting, you were like, oh, no, the clowns need to be there. I don't want to use this. The clowns need to be there. So.
You know, what's bad about that is I did that without even thinking about that, really. So I guess it's just years of muscle memory kicking back in. I don't know.
Well, the clown thing is the... it's the less damaging to your... Well, okay, I lost the clown. Hey, it's a
Yeah.
decoy, that's fine. But if you use a potion when you don't want to use it,
Oh,
that's gonna cost you.
gosh.
And even the
really
treasure
is.
chests that basically kill all enemies on screen, that's gonna cost you.
Mhm.
So that was my my decision to keep the clown on default. If I accidentally pressed the wrong button, a clown would appear. Well, it's a rubber clown, one of those bouncy, no legs
the
having
blow-up
things.
ones.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
And I was
You
like,
know,
clown
it's
lost.
funny because so per normal, I play the game while we talk about it just to kind of have it fresh in my head. And right now, my default items are the gun and the clowns.
There you go.
And I'm barely getting to the chainsaw level right now. So yeah, I guess you're right. I guess there's something to be said about that. Oh man.
But to answer your earlier question, did I get a game over screen? Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
I mean, it said game over.
It's true. It does say game over. You're not wrong. I love the way they do it though. And it kind of makes me regret not getting a game over screen in my playthrough, because the screen oozes down.
Yes.
And game over is written inside of it, and it's just like, man, that is cool. Like the style of this game is just so good. And you know, now that you mention it, I didn't think about it, but LucasArts made all of those really cool, really stylistic point and click adventure games.
Exactly.
And it really shows now that you mention that.
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to say here, because Mr. Stumble is stumbling again, this is 93.
Yeah.
When did they release all those point and click adventure games?
Oh man. Probably around the same time, if not a little later.
Well, you're right. It is basically the golden age is 90, 91, 92, 93. So yeah, they had a lot of experience with the point and click adventure games. And the reason why BurgerBuns is asking or mentioning it is because, if I can be so free of speech, is that the correct term?
Probably.
Point and click adventure games are like 95% graphics.
Yeah,
So
they have to be.
They have to be. They needed to create a certain amount of details with not a very big canvas. I mean, the screens back then, 640 by something. Resolution is not that big.
640 by, I think, like 480?
Probably, yeah, 640, 480. That sounds okay. And
I think that's about right.
Or it was 480 by 320. But yeah, I mean, that's precise pixel art what we're talking about. So with
Actually,
no, go ahead.
No, I'm really glad you called it a board, because I thought that maybe I was the only person that still called them that. Just because, you know, when you look at an arcade game, you're like, yeah, the board of this game, and then you'll go to the next board. Basically, the level, the layout, the whole screen, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, I was like, hey, cool, he said board too. Go ahead, keep going. I didn't want to miss that. I'm old, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my god. Maybe we should write a script.
Maybe.
No.
We keep winging it.
That's a bad
Anyway,
idea.
continue.
Yes. So they had to, with all the experience of drawing for the point and click adventure games, that experience brought them brought some awesome art in Zombies Ate My Neighbors, or Zombies, as it was called here. And I can definitely understand what you mean, because the game looks awesome.
Yeah, the colors are vibrant, and you know, you really do see a lot of detail with it. The shading, just everything about it. It's so cool. And for being what, I guess this was a 16-bit game, right? Not
Correct.
Not 32.
Yes.
Was okay. let's say, crap, was it a 32? But yeah, you saw so much detail, and it looked so good, and it had a little bit of a cartoony look to it. Some of the characters were exaggerated here and there. Like you have this really overweight tourist, and the chainsaw maniacs themselves are like huge, buff, and bulky, and they do this weird spin. And yeah, it looks very good. Everything about it, even down to the text, the way the text is shaded and everything, it's so cool. It's very cool, and it aged very well.
If you would put this in an arcade today, it would be a success.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Which, was there not an arcade version?
I mean, if there wasn't, they made a mistake.
Yeah, really, right? Because they would. I mean, this would have ate so many quarters.
Oh yes,
so many quarters.
Well, no password system, obviously, but
you know, I'm finding out right now that, was it an arcade? It might have been. It definitely was. I see an arcade cabinet about it. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, no, it was it looks like they did make arcade cabinets for it, so that was a good move on their part.
Well, now I know what I'm going to spend my Patreon money on.
Get an arcade cabinet.
Not an arcade cabinet, because I don't have enough Patreons. Shameless plug.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, no, let's talk about the enemies. You wanted to talk about them earlier, and I know that there's a few favorites there for you.
Oh, definitely. The enemies. The only thing that, if I remember correctly, the only thing for me personally that they were missing was Dracula.
Yeah.
Because they had werewolves. They had zombies.
Check.
Yeah. Yep. Favorite one. They even had like Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Check.
He would pop out of the little swamp area, and you have the Chainsaw Maniacs, which were like a mix between Texas Chainsaw Massacre and like Jason.
Yeah, indeed.
That was really cool. Man, it was just...
They had aliens.
I guess they had aliens, you're right. I almost forgot the stinking aliens.
Wait, but are the aliens the clones?
That's a good point. I never thought about that. I don't think so.
That's the only extraterrestrial enemy that I have seen in my playthrough. I don't know if there's actually little green man with big bulgy eyes aliens.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and I never thought about it until I went back to play it for the podcast, that the whole story behind the game is that Dr. Tongue...
What? The story?
Yeah. I didn't realize there was a story to it either, but, you know, finding out it's Dr. Tongue, which is a reference to a George A. Romero movie, which I'll get into all of that here in a minute. Dr. Tongue created these monsters and then unleashed them on the world, and so you and your buddy go and you save the world with your neighbors first, of course. So he made all of these enemies, and there's even like huge underground worms that tunnel and break up through the surface, and they chomp down at you. It's awesome, but it's scary because, man, they kill you so fast. But the aliens, though, he didn't create aliens, so I guess they just decided to throw in aliens just for the heck of it.
Because why not? We got all of them.
Because why not?
If you look at I'm staring at the Wikipedia page right now, and what they're saying, and please fasten your seatbelts because this is going to be a rough ride. The player chooses between two characters, Zeke and Julie. So those are the names of the characters. It's either a guy or a girl, so hey, girl power. Or both in a two-player mode. And they navigate suburban neighborhoods, shopping malls, pyramids, haunted castles, and other areas, destroying a variety of horror movie monsters, including vampires. So apparently they're in there.
Yeah.
Werewolves, huge demonic babies,
It's
spiders, Squidman, evil dolls, freaking evil dolls,
Oh my gosh, yes.
aliens, UFOs, giant ants,
Yeah.
blobs, giant worms, mummies, chainsaw-wielding maniacs, pot people, which are the aggressive alien clones of the players, and the game's namesake, zombies.
Yes.
That's a lot of enemies.
That is so many enemies, and I never put it together until earlier this week. I didn't know that they referenced George A. Romero's movies so much, but if you look at the cover now, yeah, that looks exactly like Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, yes.
And Dawn of the Dead has the original 1978.
That's the OG Romero zombies there. They got introduced.
Yeah.
Slow walking.
The shuffling ones.
Yeah. The brain-eating, shuffling zombies. Exactly.
Uh-huh. And his zombies were my favorite zombies. Just by the look of their eyes, it's all like darkly colored eyes, like they haven't slept in days. Of course, they didn't.
Well, I mean, basically, they're dead.
What? No.
Yeah.
Well, they're the living dead.
Correct.
Technicalities. What do you do? But, yeah, no. And those were some of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. And so I never put two and two together to realize, oh, that's why I love this so much, because it's talking about George A. Romero movies, which I adored. And then you're talking about like The Ants. I didn't think about it, but the 1959 movie, Them. I think it was Them, where they discover these giant, massive ants, and they drop. Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you the story, but they fight those big, massive ants. But yeah, and I don't remember the vampires in the game, but it's probably because
you never got that far.
Yeah, and I don't like using the password system because, like I said earlier, you need every single item you collect.
That is true.
And so
because some enemies can only be defeated by a certain weapon.
Yeah, and whenever you use the password system, you just port right to it with your water gun and a health pack.
Yeah,
that's it.
Good luck. I say.
Oh man, yeah. But yeah, so the enemies were by far my favorite part about the entire game because, fall is my favorite time of year. We have Halloween, festivals, dressing up, just a lot of fun. And, yeah, it has everything that I enjoy about it. Dang, who would have thought, doing your research would give you realizations in life. No wonder I didn't do well in college.
That's why we're doing this. Looking back
exactly
at games that we have played, and basically it's a big check for me to see if the fond feelings that I have are nothing but nostalgia goggles.
Yeah.
Or if it's just a really good game. It still is.
So, what did you? Because I know how I felt about the enemies. How do you feel about the enemies?
I mean,
did it check any like big box for you? Like, holy crap, this is cool, or was it just like, oh, okay, cool, these are the enemies?
I think overall you start with just the zombies, and then when you progress with the levels, the stages. First of all, you're in the suburbs, and then suddenly you're in a mall, and then you're in a pyramid, and nothing makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do like the variety they put in there. Mm-hmm. It never feels dull, and like I said at the beginning, the replayability of the game is very high. If you happen to die, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna try this again, but this time I know how to get you, Mr. Chainsaw Man. I know how to kick your ass now.
Yeah, you learn as you play.
You do, but not in a bad, dragging way. I mean,
Yeah.
once you begin, there's a lot of action. You don't know what. Well, you know that you have to rescue your neighbors because you see them on your first screen, and you walk in them, and then hey, you get some points, and you're like, okay. And they start pressing all the buttons. What does everything do? And then you figure out that hey, I got some kind of sonar radar system that's also my map to show me how many neighbors that I need to rescue and also whereabouts they are, because you do see that they're in the northeast. What the map doesn't show you is that there's like a hatch in between you and them. So
Yeah.
you need to walk around, find your way. Every level is some sort of maze filled with enemies.
It reminds me of the early Grand Poofarian games that came out on PlayStation 1 because it would just give you a direction, like, yeah, go up.
Yes.
But it wouldn't tell you, okay, turn left, turn right. And you know, another thing that I guess I kind of realize now is that we've only reviewed older generation games. We're not always just sticking with retro. It's just that these happen to be the games that came up. We will look at modern games as well.
That is true. It was just what we're doing is, hey, next week, zombies at my neighbors. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, we started implementing voting. So if you would like to vote, you can join the NAP Discord, which is a fantastic Discord created by Poofy and a few others. And I have to say, like, ever since I've joined, I know I've said this before, probably too many times, and people might get tired of hearing it, but it is really a very welcoming place and a great place to grow as a content creator and just a great place to grow with friends. So yeah, consider that. But yeah.
Basically, it's a Discord where I kind of show pictures of the things that I had for dinner.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening on the Discord, my man.
Right now, that dinner did look pretty good.
A burger. I had a burger.
That burger. Yeah. Well, you know, it's the most nutritious of all meals, especially the buns.
Absolutely. I cannot deny that.
But to bring it back, so this is an older game, but it kind of made me realize, like, this game doesn't hold your hand the way games do today. There's no what do you call it, training. There's no, all right, learn how to play the game.
Yep.
Here,
no tutorials at all.
Yeah, no tutorials. That's the word I was looking for. Holy crap. So unless you read the manual, you don't know that you have that sonar there. I played the game for years, and I didn't know about that sonar until probably, what, like 96?
Yeah.
Maybe 95? Because I got the game secondhand, and so did all my buddies. I mean, the box and the instructions were gone. We were kids, and...
It's weird. People eat them, apparently.
Oh, do they?
I don't know. It's like whenever you're in a garage sale, they only have the cartridges. And like, what happened to the box? Yeah, I ate it.
Yeah.
Why?
Times got rough.
Yeah, it was the big famine of 1922.
Yeah, so there's some pretty important details in those instruction booklets, like controls or maybe even a story.
Which is very important with games like this.
Yeah.
I mean, the story, like you told it, doesn't really make sense at all. I mean, what was the motive?
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes I think about the 90s and I'm just like, what the hell were we doing?
Nobody knows. Nobody. We were just winging
it. maybe that's where... Maybe that's where we get that from. Maybe we were just stuck in the 90s.
I mean...
Because I still feel like 97 was like 2 years ago.
It is. 3 years ago.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. It still is. I mean...
yeah.
It was a long time ago. Where
really
people just invented stuff that, like you said, made no sense at all, but we all loved it.
Yeah.
And we got Jurassic Park. So, hey.
Yeah.
But that's a story.
Man.
That could be one, by the way. There's a lot of Jurassic Park games.
There's a lot, and I'm thinking of one in particular. So.
Oh, was it the... No. No,
yeah,
end of discussion.
Yeah, see,
not
exactly.
Now.
Like, wait, we gotta wait.
No, we got
on.
a theme here. Zombies ate my neighbors. It has nothing to do with dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, this movie drew a lot of influence from this game. Yeah. From movies. And so that was really cool it was easy enough to realize I didn't put it together. But yeah, that's probably why it's one of my favorites.
What I have learned...
It explains why.
What I've learned just now, and I don't know if you do, yeah, you probably do because you're staring at a computer screen as well, it also spawned a sequel.
Yes. Yes, it did, which it didn't serve as well. Oh dear. But it was called Ghoul School, I believe.
I see.
And then
Ghoul Patrol.
Oh, go ahead. Ghoul Patrol, that's right. And then I believe they tried making a more current version. I think it was released on Xbox original, but it was called Grabbed by the Ghoulies.
Oh dear.
I could be terribly wrong. Maybe I'm thinking just because it has the word ghoul in it, but I want to say that they created another version, or a more modern version called Grabbed by the Ghoulies, that's supposed to be in line, like in canon with it. Oh, also, Frankenstein. I thought Frankenstein wasn't in here. He definitely is. I'm getting chased by him right now.
Well, there you go. Frankie is there.
Yeah, he is there. But yeah, so there were... I don't think it was received as well, Ghoul School.
No, what I'm reading indeed is that it was not as well received as its predecessor. Originally, even, Ghoul Patrol was not intended to be released as a sequel. But it was reworked as such to increase sales.
Geez, does it happen to say when it was released?
94.
Wow.
2 years after.
So immediately after.
Yeah. That's what you get.
I wonder what the heck happened.
That's what you get if you don't take your time to polish your game.
Yeah.
I think.
That's a good point.
I've never played it.
I played it once I found out about it. I was like, holy cow. I probably have this somewhere, and I acquired a copy.
Hey.
An electronic copy, and it made me just want to go back and play Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
So it's a portal game to go back to Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Probably. I wonder if that's why they made it so close. Like, hey, we need more kids playing this here. Let's make this
but the sales are dropping.
Report.
Let's make a sequel and guide them back.
Yeah.
Guide them back to the first one.
Yeah. That makes sense now. But yeah, so it wasn't too bad. It felt lacking. If I remember correctly, it felt like they were trying too hard.
Oh yeah, that's usually what happens with a sequel that has to follow up because something got very popular, and they were like, "Hey, there's money there." And then they forced themselves to make a sequel, and people can notice that.
Yeah, and man, they did that in the 90s? No.
I mean,
they might have.
Vanilla Ice. I mean, yeah,
I think he's doing very well with properties now, but I could be wrong.
I mean, he's not lying awake over financial problems. So
he's not.
No.
But he should be playing Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
He should be part of Zombies. He should be the protagonist of Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh man, that would have been a great little tie-in for him, Like, hey, I'm in the Super Nintendo game and Sega called Zombies. It would have sold so much. Oh, they could have put him in Ghoul Patrol and they would have had more sales. Lucas Arts, you can pay us whenever you want. Just reach out to us, join the Discord, and we'll work something out.
Dang it. Oh.
Oh. So
I think we need to wrap it up.
yeah, we need to wrap it up. Let's bring it back to the game itself and not our terrible ideas, but
they're not terrible.
One thing that was really cool. Yeah.
That's the issue.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
One thing I do want to say about the game is the music.
Oh yes,
the music is so good. It's really cool.
It is.
I think the fact that people are still covering the music today says something.
To be honest, just don't play the game. Just search YouTube, Zombies Ate My Neighbor OST, and go. Yeah,
the OST is perfect October music, perfect Halloween music.
Definitely.
It's so good. It's so much fun. Who were we listening to yesterday? We had shared a few songs.
The One-Ups?
The One-Ups, that's right, and Vomitron. I want to say there was one more, but it might just be Vomitron doing another cover.
He did a few.
Yeah, he did a few. I want to say he did a very good Weird Kids on the Block cover.
Did he?
I want to say he did, because that's actually the name of one of the levels. Sorry, we're not spoofing New Kids on the Block or anything. But yeah, it was a very like mellow. It kind of gave me the idea that like surfing vibe with the guitar effects and everything like that. But it was really good. Yeah. I think those are the only two. I'm pretty sure like other bands like the NES Advantage, the NES Eskimos, yeah, there's a lot of different bands out there that cover video game music, but yeah, Vomitron and the One-Ups did some of my favorite covers of the music in this game, and it's just like the artwork and the visuals of the game, the music is just on par with it. It's so good.
It's, again, a complete package.
Yeah, and it holds up.
It does.
Or maybe you and I are just crazy.
No. It holds up. Period.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure that if they can easily release this on next-gen consoles. I mean, the whole nostalgia retro thing that is living right now on all the consoles. Yeah. If you go to the next-gen console, people will buy this. People will play it, and for a good reason.
Yeah.
Because you're doing a series out of it right now for the channel.
Yeah.
That's how good the game is.
I didn't plan on it. It's just going through. All this muscle memory started kicking back in. All these memories themselves started kicking back in. All the nostalgia, and it's becoming fall now at the time of this recording, and it's all falling into place. And man, Zombies Ate My Neighbors is just a dang good game.
And that's the message that we're gonna leave you with. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. It's just a dang good game.
It's true.
So I think we gotta say goodbye now.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I think you're right. This is BurgerBuns. I will catch you on the next one. And Poofy?
Yes, me too, probably. And if I'm not here, you gotta wait another week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.